One day, Sian O'Day was on her way back to the river when she chanced upon a man wandering through the woods. She said, "Hi, my name is Sian O'Day." He said, "Hi, I am Camus Nanawangmi no Makito. Where are we?" "You may be in your new home if you wish it." "No, this is not my home." "Well, we are in the world of the fairies. I can take you back to our world, if you will please." "Yes." So we talked on our way back. "How long have you been here?" "Well, I've been here coming on, well, it's been a very long time, since I was 20 years old." "How old are you now?" "I'm still 20, but I'm a very old 20, she said. "Not as old as time itself, but pretty nearly. Let's see. I was a young girl in a faraway yesteryear. I remember that day very well. I had heard stories of leprechaun griddles riding out of the fog and mist in order to steal gold. So I placed a large piece of gold inside of a box with a hole cut into it that would allow the leprechauns to reach his hand in, but he could not withdraw his hand from the box without releasing his grip on the gold. So when he reached in for the gold and could not withdraw his hand without releasing the gold, he got so upset and made so much noise that he did not hear me approach. I hit him over the head with me pan, and I tied him up, and when he awoke I told him that I would pay him for my passage with gold, showing him a piece, if he would teach me how to cross into the fairy kingdom. And he said, "For your gold I can, and I will." With this, holding up a three-pronged fork, "I can take you over to the fairy world by holding it in the spot of the Trinity, where the Trinity of water, land, and air meet. But you will need one of these of your own in order to get back. But with that piece of gold in that box, you could buy 50 of these in my world." All he wanted in exchange for the ferry was me gold. So showing him a piece of gold, I said to him, "Half of this side, half the next. Half on this side, half on the next." And he agreed. So we walked down to the river, and he tapped his fork to a rock, and it made a sound, and we crossed over. Then as we walked through the woods, he turned on me, but he did not know that I had the gift. So I knew what he had planned, and so I was able to crack him over the head with a rock till he was dead. Then I took his tuning fork and used it to return home. And even though I had only been in the fairy world half a day or less, I had been gone from our world for a full year. "What?" he said. "I have been here for a full score or more. What year was it when you left?" 1776, he said. "How did you get here?" "Well, I fell asleep on the beach. And when I woke up, I was being dragged into the water by a leprechaun. So I pretended to sleep. And when we reached the water, I heard a sound like a bell that had been rung, and we were suddenly in a forest. And when I heard him say, 'I'll have you for my pot,' I slowly made ready, unsheathing my knife, and when he could no longer drag me through the brush, he grabbed me up, and as he was about to throw me over his shoulder to carry him a distance, I plunged the blade, and he fell to dust. So now I have been wandering aimlessly for a score or more without food or water, thirst or hunger. Yes, you had steel, which has the effect upon the fairies in this world. I am surprised that the leprechaun did not smell it on you. If we could learn why he did not smell the steel, that would be worth its weight to us. My sheath is made of Kanauzi giant skink leather. Our steel is why they leave us alone, because our steel, they can smell it, and as far as I can tell, it is the only thing that can kill them. That is why they signed a peace treaty with us, and because of the peace treaty, we are safe here in the fairy world. They leave us alone and we leave them alone, outside of trade, of course. And a few of the young have begun to intermarry, but now that you have crossed over into the fairy kingdom, you have a choice to make. I can bring you back to our world. Or, what price do you want for the ferry? What do you have that I could want? But I must warn you, many centuries have passed in our world since you entered the fairy kingdom. It is not a world you will recognize. That I will have to see with my own eyes, he said. There is a city here full of people I have ferried over that thrives with life and abundance. I could tell you how to reach them. It would be a grand adventure for you. And if you ever did tire of this place and want to return to our world someday, I could take you then. But for now I must hurry back, so you must decide. You're not going without me, he answered. One last thing. Once you return to our world, just as the steel caused the leprechauns to turn to dust, from now on it would do the same to you. And also we can only understand each other because we are here in the fairy kingdom. But once we cross over back to our world, your words will be meaningless to me, as mine will be to you. So I am telling you now. My employees will pick us up before we leave the beach, and I will give you passage back to your country. Thank you, he said. You are welcome. And once you cross back into our world, you will age extremely slowly. Fine, he said. So once they made it back to our world, the leprechauns attacked. The peace treaty did not extend to our world, and with guns made of pure plastic, they now had a weapon they thought could defeat us. Over here.